we're going to find the limit as h approaches 0 of 1 over a plus h squared minus 1 over a squared over h. Now, if you were to sub in 0 right from the beginning, you get 1 over a squared minus 1 over a squared, which is 0 over 0, which is an indeterminate form. So what we want to see is if there's some algebra we can do to figure out what this is. So we have the limit as h approaches 0 of 1 over a plus h, the quantity squared, minus 1 over a squared all over h. So one thing we might want to do is find a common denominator between the two terms. So over here I'm going to multiply by a squared over a squared, and over here I'm going to multiply by a plus h, the quantity squared over a plus h. Let's make that a little more obvious. A plus h, the quantity squared. Now I have a common denominator of a squared times a plus h, the quantity squared. So I have the limit as h approaches 0 of a squared over a squared times a plus h, the quantity squared, minus, here's going to be a plus h, the quantity squared, over a squared times a plus h, the quantity squared, once again all over h. Now we have a common denominator. We're going to combine those two fractions on top and see what happens. Limit as h goes to 0. On top I'm going to have a squared minus a plus h, the quantity squared, all over my common denominator. We could multiply this denominator out, but we're going to leave it, because remember that our goal is to put in 0 for h, all over h. The numerator, we're going to have to be a little careful because of that negative sign. The numerator, though, I'm going to have a squared minus, now this is not a squared plus h squared. It needs to be FOILed out. It's a plus h times a plus h, which is a squared plus 2ah plus h squared. Still, over my common denominator, a squared times a plus h, the quantity squared, all over h. And now we're going to get some canceling, because I'm going to distribute that negative sign. So a squared minus 2ah minus h squared. Now remember that negative sign has to distribute to all of those terms. All over a squared times a plus h, the quantity squared. And again, that's all the numerator over h. Those are going to cancel. The other thing I'm going to do is write this as h over 1, because I'm sick of having a fraction and a fraction, and that's going to allow me to flip it and multiply. So essentially, I'm going to multiply the top and the bottom by 1 over h. Alright? Now you're going to see here in a second why that's so nice, because I got the limit as h approaches 0. Notice I can factor out an h in the numerator. So h times negative 2a minus h over a squared times a plus h, the quantity squared, times that 1 over h that I have right here. Those h's are going to cancel. Now I can plug in h to 0 without it causing 0 over 0. So if I set my h's to 0, look at what I have left. I have minus 2a over a squared times a squared. Notice I'm no longer writing limit as h goes to 0, because I've taken the limit as h goes to 0 by substituting in 0 for h. I'm going to be able to cancel out one of the a's in the denominator with one on top, and instead of writing that as a squared times a, we'll write it as a cubed, and we get negative 2 over a cubed, and we are done.